bring in Glenn Gerstell. He was formerly a general counsel of the National Security Agency, I should say. He's here. You know, Glenn, really the big question is, will this truly eliminate foreign control over American users' data? Do we know that for sure?
I think this is a big step in the right direction. One of the things that Congress was concerned about when it passed the ban a year ago was the risk of disinformation and the risk from Chinese sources, and also the risk that user data, American user data, would somehow be manipulated or perhaps siphoned off back to Beijing for nefarious purposes. I think what the deal that's announced the other day, and by the way, it's not 100% clear that it's absolutely complete, but let's assume for the moment that it is, I think goes a big step in the right direction of making sure that the data is going to be kept in U.S. hands. The information is going to be stored on Oracle's cloud computers in Texas. It's going to be overseen by a 7-member board of directors that's majority controlled. And so I think we'll probably have a pretty good feeling that the data part of it is secure. Is it absolutely perfect? No, probably not much is going to be perfect, but it's a big step in the right direction.
You know, when I was reading about this, I was reading that there was a law passed by Congress, and it really kind of requires a remedy for foreign adversary control. Could this deal, in your opinion, still face legal or legislative challenges, or does it seem like this thing is pretty airtight?
Austin, you've put your finger exactly on something that's of concern to national security professionals. When Congress passed the banning statute almost a year ago, it said that in order for the ban to not apply, 2 things had to occur. One is that ByteDance, the Chinese company, can't own more than 20% of the stock of TikTok, so they seem to have accomplished that. ByteDance is now going to own 19.9%. The second part of the statute, and this was very clear, was that there can't be any operational relationship, that's the words of the statute, between ByteDance on one hand and TikTok on the other. And frankly, the press release that TikTok issued announcing the deal, frankly, raises almost as many questions about that as it answers. It's not exactly clear whether the algorithm is apparently going to be licensed by U.S. TikTok. What are the terms of that license? We don't know. Will ByteDance still have some control over it? We already heard, as your reporter just mentioned a minute ago, that ByteDance is going to continue to play the critical role in the e-commerce part, in advertising, in marketing, and most importantly, the interoperability of TikTok USA with the rest of TikTok around the world. There are 2 billion users around the world. They want to see American videos, American TikTok videos. Americans want to see information from Brazil or Indonesia, pick your place. Whether that meets the statute's test is not clear.
You know, I'm also reading that the deal includes third-party audits, data localization, and contracted cloud storage. So how are they going to verify long-term compliance with the safeguards?
Well, again, right now, all we have to go on is that press release from the company, which asserts that this is the case. Let's assume that that is indeed the case. There are going to be third-party audits. Whether they'll be made public or not clear. Let's assume they're going to be third parties. I'm assuming all these parties are trustworthy and that they will, in fact, comply with this and make every effort to make sure that the data remains in U.S. hands. The question is, will ByteDance have any ability whatsoever to get into see any of that data, even for training purposes or auditing purposes or oversight purposes? We just don't know. Is there a possibility of nefarious action? Can we completely eliminate that? Hopefully we can, but who knows? The disinformation risk, however, remains. It is entirely possible that content produced outside the United States will find its way into the United States, depending upon how the algorithm is retrained. And you could have insidious, bit-by-bit, very subtle disinformation campaigns creeping into the U.S. feed.
A lot of people are asking if this will impact their TikTok. How would you answer that question directly to them?
Generally, no. The short answer is this deal preserves TikTok USA in pretty much its form as it is now. You won't need to download a new app. You won't need to get a new password. You won't need to get a new login. You'll get the TikTok that you're used to. There's new terms of service that TikTok rolled out Thursday that you're deemed to agree to by using the app. So from the user's point of view, it's going to look pretty seamless. Whether the algorithm as it is retrained on US data, which is what the press release said. The Chinese algorithm, the content algorithm that decides what is for you, your feed for you, how that will change over time remains to be seen. There could be subtle changes, there could be dramatic changes. We'll have to see how that plays out.
We appreciate you, Glenn. Thank you.